Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Friday afternoon Zoom edition, and we have had some real drama in the world and in the markets since Monday, on late Wednesday night, early Friday morning, depending on your time zone. Early Thursday morning, depending on your time zone. We had war break out between Russia and Ukraine. This was threatened for a long time, but it finally came to fruition, or so we think. We'll talk about that a little bit too, but regardless, the markets reacted pretty harshly. Bitcoin dropped about 15%, and a lot of the altcoins were even worse. So, but the good news is we've had a pretty strong recovery since then. Yesterday and today, we've recovered a lot, if not all, or at least most of that drop already. So that's pretty remarkable. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart. All right, you folks should be seeing my Bitcoin. I'm going with a 1 hour chart.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so here's the drop we had starting on the morning of the 23rd, to the evening of the 23rd as well, a 12.27% drop. Then we had a big pump almost to 40 yesterday afternoon, another drop, and then it's been working its way back. It's at 39.3 and change right now, so that's a pretty good recovery from where we were at 39.2 when all this happened. We've actually gained some ground since then, a little bit. So we were talking a little bit before the recording about what's really going on over there. Whether this war is justified on Russia's part, whether they're entitled to this piece of Ukraine or not. I'm not sure if it really affects us as traders. I mean, we certainly feel for the people over there, and war is awful, and regardless of its reasoning. But we have to look at this as traders and what we can do and how it affects our markets. And so far, we have a big drop and then a big recovery. I don't know if I trust this over the weekend, so I'm holding off on any large long positions. I did want to ladder buy in on some of mine that have been beaten down, over the last few weeks. But I'm going to wait probably till Monday or Tuesday to see how this market holds up, in case this is a bull trap. But I mean, so far so good. It looks the recovery looks pretty strong. Yeah, I had this line drawn on Monday, but it pretty much blasted through and then ignored it. Starting to wonder if I should keep drawing these lines. I think I've said that before, but yeah, let's get rid of it now. I could draw another one just for fun. Got this this trend line going up. Based on this trend, we could have be well over 40, in a couple days. So curious to see if that happens over the weekend. Not sure if we'll have the volume to push it up that far, but yeah, Monday and Tuesday next week should be very interesting. So any thoughts on Bitcoin or what's going on in the world that's related to this?
The only thing I would add is what I read on the AA Slack channel by Captain Allen and Terry, our resident TA, a couple of our resident TA guys, that they apparently had predicted this drop in Bitcoin regardless of the war. So they're saying that this drop was coming, and yeah, there's a war, but that's not really why we're having the drop. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it would have dropped as much, but I guess they had kind of called this theoretically.
They had at the beginning of January. Their TA was pretty much, you're going to drop, it's going to come back, retest, and then it'll rally in March, is basically what they called it at the beginning of January.
Yeah, they're talking about, just the Bitcoin cycle, whether world events have an effect on it or not, that this kind of thing was call it before time based on just the cycles of Bitcoin. I don't have that chart handy. As a day trader, it's not something that I look at all the time. I check it out every couple of days. I know Terry, he and I are in contact. So But I do definitely respect his opinion on the charts and cycles and things like that. Alan does too, does some of that himself. So,
Well,
what was it? A
that's
world?
come-
Oh, go
it's
ahead,
come
Patrick.
back- Yeah, it's come back up to the low from September.
359.
Yeah, let's look at the day chart. So here and then September, yeah, we were in the high 30s back in September as well. And I think if you look at the, I should have the chart handy. I didn't anticipate talking about this, so maybe I should have. But yeah, the cycles that move in September pretty much coincided with those cycles. So something to take into consideration, especially if you're more of a swing trader or a long-term hodler. Doesn't always come into play in day trading since we're only looking for, a few percent here and there. So, all right, let's look at the Ethereum as well. Got my day chart here. Yeah, Ethereum was affected negatively by the Bitcoin drop, recovered strong. I'm sorry, I'm on the day chart. Yeah, this is the drop here, and then this is the recovery. So it wouldn't surprise me if we had a breakout, closer to 3,000, then another test, and then a breakout, a secondary breakout with more steam behind it. And I think that the same goes for Bitcoin too. Maybe drop down to 36, 35, and then shoot on up. Which is why I'm reluctant to get in at the moment on a long position. All right, any thoughts on Bitcoin or Ethereum before we move over to Altcoin Alert? All right. So what do we do now? Go to our Altcoin Alert and go to reload. Make sure the data is fresh. And let's start with the AA score. We've got only one very bullish NLG Golden. I don't even know what that is. I was looking at Ren earlier, Horizon. No, that's not it. Ren is something else. But regardless, I haven't traded this before. It's had a pretty big move up today, so maybe it's played out. It's not very bullish. It's only bullish, 78.8. So let's check it out. Okay, the day charts had a big drop since it's high back in I think it was September, October. 70 plus per 80%, but looking pretty good today. On the hour, yeah, really nice move since last night or 2 nights ago. Yeah, we're up 30 plus percent in 2 days. I wonder if there's news on Ren. Not really seeing anything that jumps out at me regarding Ren on the news cycle here. Okay, on the 5-minute chart. Wow, squeeze city. Pretty tight between the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, 2.7%, 2.8, it's not that good. In a bull market that's reasonably predictable, squeeze trades are desirable. You get a jump above the SMA line here with some decent candle action. This might be a better example here. 3 out of 4 candles, green, and then it just keeps going. So these are really good day trades. They're hard to predict though. So I don't do them very often. I will use trend-based indicators to look for moves like this, not so much on this setup. All right, so what do we want to do now? Let's say we're interested in Ren, but we want a good entry point, and we don't really have that at the moment, as it's just bouncing between the SMA line and the top of the Bollinger Band, a few dips below. but no puncture, nothing even closely resembling a dip sequence. So on the 5-minute chart, you could put an alert, a price alert, some short-term support here. If it breaks that, say at 32 cents, that could be something to check out. Do your alert. And yeah, crossing 32.11. I like round numbers. Might do that. And call it whatever you want. So when that alert goes off, you reevaluate, see if it's something you want to get into, see what the other indicators are doing. You might, and after that, you could do a secondary alert, maybe down here at 30 cents or even lower down here on 29.80. These are other pockets of support. You can also go to your 15-minute chart. This is where I like to do my day trading alerts. And got bullish divergence here. And, have that go off and call it whatever you want. When that goes off, again, you reevaluate. These alerts were somewhat predictive. It took 3 of them to actually predict this move. So, but not bad. It did make a big move after this. Another option is to put alerts on your indicators. I like to use the MFI, the money flow index, and the RSI, relative strength index. I tend to use the RSI a little bit more for alerts. So right click on that. I want it to be crossing up on the 30. Either once per bar close or once per bar. And call it RSI alert, whatever you want. And then when the RSI dips below 30 and starts to come back, that's where you can catch your 1, 2, 3 dips sometimes. And then you can do the same thing. If you like the MFI better, you can do the same thing, usually the 20 value, crossing above the 20. And we have a chat. Frankie's on board. Welcome, Frankie. All right, any questions on Ren or these setups? Okay.
Me?
Did someone speak up?
No, I just said not for me.
Okay. So you spoke up to say no.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I appreciate the
It is Friday
back and
night.
forth.
I was trying to give you some, just let you know we're all still breathing.
All right, cool. I appreciate that. All right, so that is Ren. Let's look at Phantom as well. This is a coin I like to trade. It's bullish to 74.5. I'm looking for 85 or better on these sometimes, but I'll look at a lower score and then do some multiple confirmations in that situation. So we've got bullish 74.5, bullish on the hourly, and a pretty good move today, 15%. So AA is not quite sure if it's entirely played out. It's telling us based on these circumstances in the past, there's a 74.5% chance that Phantom will move 3% or more in the next 48 to 72 hours. I think there was an adjustment on that time frame during the Tuesday call. Did anyone else hear that? I think they're leaning more towards the 72 hours now. Maybe that's what the latest data is showing. So, so our day trading is starting to go into 2 and 3 days, which to me is more of a swing trade.
Yeah, 72 hours. I could confirm that.
Yeah, 72. So I'll start changing my description accordingly. So 3% in the next 72 hours. All right, let's go to Phantom. Day chart. Yeah, January is well above $3. Lost more than half of that. Nice recovery today on the hour. Looks pretty similar to what we just saw in Ren. after the drop, up 27%, really nice move. The 5 minute. Okay, it's wow, I would want to buy it up here. So we're way above the SMA line on the 5 minute chart. We punched below or above the Bollinger Band and dipping a little bit below. I'm not sure what to do with this other than, set similar alerts to what we talked about. We've got some pretty good short-term support right about here at 158. So that would be a good place for a price alert. Something like that. On the 5 minute, we're above, the 80 on the MFI, we're above the 70 on the RSI. MACD is way above the histogram. So nothing in here is really giving us an idea that this is a good entry point. So we go to our 15-minute chart. And well, what you could do, if you're a leverage trader, you've got bearish divergence formed, about 25 minutes ago on the MACD on 3 different indicators. So this could be a short, plus it went through the top of the Bollinger Band. We're only on the 15-minute chart, but that's usually where I start my indicators for such things. So if you're interested in leverage and you want to short this, it's a bit risky given the way the market's been pumping today, but go in small, be ready to ladder buy if you need to, and you could short this. Now, if you're not a leverage trader, you're trading spot, you want to find a good entry. You could do your divergence alert here. Positive divergence. Once per bar close, you're good to go. After that goes off, reevaluate. Yeah, we got these MFI, RSI really high up here, so it's going to take a pretty big drop. Yeah, you almost need a drop as much as we had during the dump, on Wednesday night to trigger one of these alerts. So you can still certainly do that to be extra cautious, but I think I'd be more interested in the divergence alert on this one. All right, any questions on FTM? Okay, let's do another sort. All right, reload. Go with our long-term sentiment sort. Okay, what I'm looking for here is very bullish or bullish confirmed on the long-term sentiment, which, quick review, is the Twitter data, the word on the street. What are people talking about? So if you can combine that with the technicals, which is what we have with this Elder Impulse Daily, you can read the description here, but it's based on momentum strategy, the MACD, and it's comparing the 20 and 50-day averages. So when you get bullish and bullish on both of them, that's usually something worth looking at. So we got to scroll a little bit to find one of those. And earlier I was looking at this Terra Luna. So let's look at Luna.
It's went crazy the last 2 days.
Yeah, Luna has been pumping. I've been scalping it successfully. Just catching little ones and twos here and there. Okay, we had the big move at the end of the year. Lost about half of it. Coming right back, though, gained about half of it back. So the hour, yeah, pretty big move since the drop. Actually didn't. Yeah, here's the drop. Yeah, wow, 39% since then. And there's been some news regarding Luna. I just can't recall what it is. has something to do with where to go. This might be it. Yeah, and that's back in December. So yeah, my apologies. I should know what that is. I can't quite recall it. I was talking to it with some other traders a couple days ago, but it's moving and shaking right now. The 5-minute chart, can we get an entry? No. Yeah, it's way too high, I think, to get in now. I don't usually use the divergence indicators or alerts on the 5-minute, but when something's pumping like this, maybe it's not a bad idea, because like this one on the 5-minute, 1.69, that's pretty good. This one, over 4%. This one dipped, but then had a really big move. So, over 6%. So you can bend the rules on this one a little bit and go on the 5-minute instead of the 15 on your divergence alert. But otherwise, well, it's a price alert. Let's look at that first. Got some support here around 66, 67.80, somewhere between 66 and 68. Might want to put a price alert, see if it comes down, get in there. Or you can do the 15-minute alerts we talked about before. You can play it safe and use a divergence alert on the 15 instead of the 5, like I just talked about. Or you can do your crossing above 20 alert on MFI, crossing above 30 alert on RSI. These ones are tricky when they've already pumped up a lot, because they do get exhausted. They get tired. And this one's only up 11% today, but it's been pumping for a couple days. So, all right, any questions on Terra Luna? All right. Well, oh no, that's not right. Not sure if we have any more that are bullish on both long term. No, we don't. That's the only one. Yeah, that's the only one that's bullish on long term and the Elder Impulse Daily. Let's look at this. Wow, this Cream Finance. It's got a bearish AA score. It's probably played out. Went up 61% today. That seems crazy. You know what? I'm just curious about this. Let's look at it. I think it's in my list. So we gotta find it. I think this is
On Bybit.
yeah. Huh. Well, we'll look at Binance though. And do we have news? Not really. Okay, day chart on Cream. I have traded this before. It's been a while, I think last summer. I'm trying to remember what it does. Cream Finance. It's one of those, lending platforms, something like that. Wow, went down 82% from its high in October. Recovered some of it in January. And then a big move today out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't see any technical reason for this to happen. So some whale and or whales have really scooped this up. Yeah, way too high. So maybe wait for it to come down to this level here at 41. 41.5. Then you got some more support here, about 34.7 on your price chart. Got your divergence indicators on the 15-minute chart or the MFI or RSI chart. So that's what I would do with that. But at the moment, I think it's way too high to get in. All right. Any questions on cream? Okay. Well, we're at about a half an hour. Are there any coins you want to look at in Altcoin Alert? Yeah, Patrick's letting
I'm
us
curious,
know.
are you still using or experimenting with the Elder Impulse?
The Elder Impulse?
Yeah.
I use it to confirm the long-term sentiment sort. I know Bryce likes to sort, just on Elder Impulse. We can do that.
Well, no, I thought you were trying it out a few weeks ago, doing your day trading.
Well, I've been tinkering with some trend-based indicators. So you might be confusing that with like the chandelier exit, which is one I talked about. I just go over there and on Luna. Yeah. This is the chandelier exit. Let me take out some of this other stuff. And the vidya, we'll talk about that in a minute. So I like to use this for suggested entries and exits, not exits so much, but entries. Most traders use this for exit, hence the name chandelier exit. I like it for entries. And then I match it up with a bunch of other indicators. I've got about 7 of them on this in this layout. I probably need to trim some out. Some are probably duplicative, but it's really alert friendly, which I like about it. Just right click on here, add an alert, chandelier exit, buy, direction change or sell, and you're good to go. So it works better on 15 minutes plus. I have it on the 5-minute because I'm actually evaluating something else. The other thing we talked about, I think on Monday, is this vidya line, which Terry Oliver has talked about, in the CryptNation group is a better choice for determining longs and shorts over, say, the 50, any of the EMAs, 50, 100, 200 that a lot of traders use. So I'm using this vidya. I like it. It incorporates, volume and momentum and things like that. It's just not just price action. So,
As it starts going red, we back off blue.
right. On this, you would take longs above the blue and shorts below the red.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And you can put alerts on it too. There was only one on the one I downloaded, but there's several versions of it on TradingView. Type in vidya variable index dynamic average. So that's what it stands for. And I just downloaded the one with the most downloads. So I'm using this in my day trading as opposed to I don't rely on EMAs that much anyway, but if I want something else to confirm my decision to go in on something, then I like this. I like to have this in my arsenal. So I hope to, when I have some sustained success, and you guys have heard me say this before, I'm tweaking ever so slowly this approach to try to find maybe 3 or 4 indicators to rely on, plus the price action, and then use that to for those of you who want to scalp, I like to do 5, maybe 5 or so of those a day, and just pop off 1 or 2% in an hour or two at high leverage. And I use stop losses as well, but a little beyond what we're talking about today. Hopefully I'll be teaching this in the next couple months. But if you want to trade based on the trend and not do the dip trades, you know, this is a decent guide, but don't rely on it in and of itself. Can't do that with really any indicator. All right. Well, I was gonna do an elder impulse sort since we were talking about it, even if it wasn't mistakenly. So we've only got a few bullish ones here at all. Keep is, well, we already went over Luna. And Keep, we just have, we've got bullish and bullish on the AA score. That's pretty weak. Yeah, I don't think I want to really look at that. It's probably going to look like the others anyway. So, all right, guys.
Following that BTC trend today. So.
Right. I think a lot of them are just catching that. So, Patrick spoke up in a message about Ethereum at the top of the Bollinger Band. Yeah, it went way past it on the 5-minute chart. 15, yeah. 30, yeah. So it's about to push through the top of the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour. So Ethereum's pumping, which bodes well for the altcoins, I think. A lot of them follow Ethereum even more so than Bitcoin. The Bitcoin tends to follow Ethereum, so could be a moot point. Okay, any coins to look at or anything else you want to talk about altcoin alert or day trading? Well, if that's the case, we're at right about 35 minutes, so I'll go ahead and stop the recording here. For those of you who showed up for my Monday or Friday afternoon Zoom, I appreciate it. If you're in Carbon, hang around. We'll get to that shortly. If you're watching on the video, I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.